All right. Good evening, everyone. I wasn't sure if I had changed this. I'm still playing around a little bit with the rooms, and we may just use the YouTube Live for our live stream. I'm not sure yet, so just bear with me as I am playing with what's going to make the most sense. I'm going to go make sure nobody's over in the other vicinity, and then we'll get going here. Maybe I'll just start the other side just in case someone's there. Bear with me, everyone. We'll get going here. Okay, let me get a screen share going as people are trickling in. I think I'm also going to give us a 15-minute break in between. I'm going to look at like opening these up a little bit further. Maybe we'll have Glenn start a little earlier and end a little earlier. I don't know. Let me know. Weigh in if that would be useful. We're open. We're open to suggestion around here. Okay, let me get my screen share going on here. Share. Got it. Chat. Good evening to you, Lee. Good to see you. All right. So I'm sharing. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes here. I thought I had switched this, but I guess I hadn't. Trying to figure out the best way for us to be able to get everything streamed, recorded, archived, etc., etc. So there may be just a little bit more step as I figure that out. Yeah, that's right, Clint, right? So that's the thing with it. We used to just kind of like take a break and then start again. But now with it being two separate events, I feel like that's like maybe what's causing the problem. And so I think my thought was let's maybe have Glenn start 15 minutes early and then end at 8:30, and then I'll go from 8:45 to 9:30, something like that. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm playing with, but I'm open again to suggestions. That way you can end one meeting and then get into the next meeting, and yeah, you don't run into any issues like that. Okay, sounds good. All right, let's try that. Anyway, let's get the recording going. We got a good group here. I'm not sure. Okay. Let me start the recording and then we'll be off and running. Okay, officially welcome out to the Market Watch Group working sessions. This is the open session. I need to change my slides too. I'm just calling it the open session. We do whatever makes sense, whatever the market tells us to do, we do. I saw there was a new person in. Are they in here? No. I see Clint. Dan is here. Good to see you, Dan. Glenn, Lee. Okay. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. Glenn popped in for just a minute before he wraps up the night. Here's, as always, our disclaimers. We are not brokers. We're not advisors. This is for illustrative and education purposes only. We don't give advice. We don't give recommendation. All right, let's go talk about it. So, a few things. Press says he's driving, so that's all right. I hope the listening is good. So, a few things that I found interesting is the Market pulled back last week, and yet our posture increased. And I think that's a testament to the process. The process is built not to look at the superficial. If you just looked at the superficial, you're like, oh, the market was down. It was red, therefore bad. Red is bad. But if we look at the underlying characteristics, that's what we're after. Is what is the not so obvious information telling us? Because that's where we have a much better ability to make money, is with that information, where we say, hey, you know what? In this market, some people got a little jittery, but I actually feel like everything looks good. And what are we seeing? I think we're seeing a good amount of confirmation along those lines so far this week, right? No problems. Market has well, let's get to it. So our posture improved. Long-term trend stayed the same for me. Short-term stayed the same for me. Volume decreased. So what happened? Sector rotation got even better for me. As did the VIX. Both of those showed improvements. Great, right? Those are ones that we can't, they're not going to just like stand out. We got to earn it. I believe that's what we've done with this analysis. So yeah, I felt pretty good about that. What does that mean to me? Well, let's start by talking about let's talk about a couple of other things real quickly here. First and foremost, let's talk about the okay. Let's talk about the trade we have on. So this is, let's get back to today. This is the calendar spread. There were some questions about this. So if you're one of them that had those questions, definitely ask now, because this is a great time to go through and talk about it. So what are we doing with this spread? Real quickly now, I'm going to do a trader's minute. Let me get this up. Give me a sense of whether or not you're in this trade. If you put this trade on or not, let me know. Okay. Trader's minute. Let me get a chart. There it is. Ready, go. All right. So looking at the SPY, let's take one step back to the 6 month. We got our trade signal for the trade we're looking at back here. You might be thinking, wait, were you calling the top? Is that a put? No, it's a calendar spread. It's a neutral trade that if the market were to come down, sit for a while, and then come back up, right? Drop down and then get back to 600, we're going to make money. The question would be how much? We're not convinced. It looks like it's definitely poised to bounce higher. But as of right now, we're not sure. However, as we look at this, the longer we wait, the more we look to make money. Essentially, over the next week or two, we should have an ability to squeeze anywhere from 20 to 50% off of this trade with absolutely no work necessary on our part. I'll keep you posted on it. There it is. That's the trade. Now, here's the deal is remember that this thing, all it has to do is not drop below here. It was already down here. Now it's moving back up. So yeah, I'm not going to do anything but sit on this trade. That's the whole point of this trade, is to just wait. While what else is happening? Well, we pulled back and now our stochastics is starting to pinch. So what is our thought process? Well, now we're looking for bullish trades again, right? I put an alert out today. Did anybody take it? Let me know if you did or not. It was late in the day. So there's only about 15, maybe 20 minutes. Should be valid going into tomorrow. But the alert came out on KKR. If you go take a look at the alerts space, that's where it's posted, but let's go take a look. Just got it in before the bell. Love it. Love it. Where are you? Let me grab that. Alerts, KKR, 1119. There it is. Let's blow it up a little. KKR, bullish entry between 152 and 152 and a half, essentially. So let's pull that up. Let's take a look at it and tell me what you think. I also today liked Google and I also liked BX. Those all looked like signals. So if you didn't trade this, did you trade something? Did you trade anything? What do we see here? Higher high, pulls back, higher low, stochastics turned and crossed, right? If you look, very similar on Google. What do we see? Stochastics turns, crosses. That's kind of a big entry day there. That one I would probably be more inclined to go, maybe I wait one more day, take the Heiken Ashi. I don't know. We'll see. The other one was BX. So there's a lot of stuff that's starting to look good, but you can see this one, just a minor little pullback and boom, starting to accelerate, stochastics turning. That's what we were looking for, right? That's what we said, is there's a good chance this thing's going to get a higher low. It's not even going to pull back here to the 50. Right? So that's what we're really on the lookout for, is these types of trades. So let's go take a look at what we did. So on the KKR, my thought up here at 165, in line with this trend. Probably even could go higher than that still, but I had 165. I had a take profit level at 160. So my thought was anywhere between about right here around 152 and to the high of this at maybe even the high at 153, actually. I mean, it finished at 152.78. I would say anything between 152 and 153. If it opens real high tomorrow, like, well, we don't want to have to chase it. So, yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, let's keep going. What else happened on this trade? Stop Anywhere between 148.75, 147.75. So my thought was basically below this low here down to this low here, somewhere down in this range. If it were to roll over, where am I wrong? I went out. Now the implied volatility is low. You can see that down here. Low implied volatility. Got about a 3.7 to 1. I went out of the money. I went cheap. I went to the 160 calls. So 160 strike. There were 2.25. A little bit more than half of that contract at risk on that trade. Those are the logistics. Give me your thoughts. Google. Yeah. Google was strong, Nick, right? It was a real strong kind of a cracking day. I think that I might watch and see tomorrow in order to use Heiken Ashi to help give me a reference point. But I had 3 on my list that I was like, okay, these look like they're valid. My list included BX, Google, KKR. So let's expand it. Let's expand it. And let's look at the watch list. Because I've got a lot. I think a lot of things. So I think those looked good for sure. Apple, no. 2 sideways. Aflac, no. We have way better. Amazon is getting close. You can see it had an engulfing day today. Gap down, but rallied all day. Not a lot of volume. We may not be there yet, but right there, I would say Amazon is looking close. New highs, new lows. APO kind of looks like it's trying to break out of like as if this was a flag. Very similar, in fact, to BX. App 11. Just smashing high. Apparently this was just like a little bit of a pennant and it broke it. And now it's just off to the races again. I don't know what you can do with that. What can you do with it? AXP, yes, looks close. Stochastics is down here, getting ready. Yeah. BAC, not yet. BK, not yet. BX, valid. CART, I don't like CART. It's so down. It's so far down there, you know. Yeah, I think it's. I see this one as needing to go through, you know, a consolidation reversal process. But if it does, it's got some potential. You can see back here, it went through a reversal, popped up, pull back. That's your high or low. That would have been great. Could have made some money there. Again there. Again in here. Caterpillar. I said it needs to hold the 50. It did, but it started below it. I don't know. That's a maybe for me. I think I like Fastenal better and JCI better. So CLS, no. I mean, it's strong, but we just started watching it. Didn't really. That was an interesting move. Chipotle, close. I'm looking at that for sure. CNK. Woo, look at Cinemark. Where'd that come from? 5% out of the blue. Coherent, same thing. Look at that. Just bouncing so strongly. I got to tell you, it's strong, but I have a hard time. I don't like chasing big entry moves like that. I'd rather wait. I like Cisco. Look at Cisco. Just setting up, getting ready. I'll wait for that one. Delta, no, not yet. The Dow looks good. Fastenal looks great. So we've got Cisco. We've got AXP. We've got FAST. We've got FI's already moving. Flex looks good. Getting close. Fox looks good. No. GE Vernova wanted to be a buy signal today. I didn't even notice that one earlier. Are you guys telling me that you haven't done any trades today? Tell me what you're trading. I want to know what you're trading. There's got to be something from this group. Where's my chat? No trades for you today. All right. Remember, we're 6.5. Things look good. Look at gold. Gold trying to come back a little. General Motors dropping into the next setup position. Google looks bullish. Goldman Sachs, not yet, but will be bullish soon. Home Depot, not yet, but will be bullish soon. Robinhood, no. HWM, that's a maybe. You'd have to feel like an argument could be made. IP, you'd have to feel like an argument could be made. IWM, holding up. JCI, looks fantastic. I'd say JCI and Fastenal. We don't need Caterpillar. We got those other two that look good. Here's KKR. KKR looks good. Already bouncing. MasterCard looks close with AXP. I like MasterCard a little better than AXP, actually. Meta. I like Google better. Morgan Stanley. I like Goldman Sachs better. Microsoft is flat. I gotta tell you, right? Our market posture is bullish. Our watch list is chock full of nice bullish stocks. What's bothering you, if anything? What's holding you back? MicroStrategy just continues to just rocket through the moon. NASDAQ looks pretty good still. Look at Netflix looking strong there. Nvidia strong there. But it's got earnings. PLTR, I'd like to see PLTR pull back, actually. PayPal looks great, setting up. The Qs looks like it's setting up. Roblox setting up. Reddit starting to move already. That one was just too soon. I hadn't watched it long enough. I don't like to trade things without having watched them for a while, and I just sort of missed that one. Did anyone catch that? Let me know if you did, so I can give you kudos. Rocket Labs? No. Yeah, Rocket Labs. Energy or utilities, big comeback all of a sudden. Oh, no, that's not it. That's C Limited. I thought I was on SL. There's utilities. They have not had a comeback. Financial, strong, SPY. Yeah, nothing to do on this one. In regard to the trade that we have on, well, there's nothing to do with this. Just kind of wait. TGNA. Tegna. I'm not that familiar with it, but I'm looking at that and I'm intrigued. I find that intriguing. Yes. TJ Maxx, no. Pulling back still. T-Mobile getting close. Toast Inc. I don't know what they do, but they're moving. Tesla. Taiwan Semiconductor. I know some people are looking to take that as it bounces from the 50, but I don't love it, to be fair. TTD bouncing off the 50. Twilio looking close. That's got some momentum. Upwork got some. We've got at least one or two more coming this week. I would expect, unless we have something crazy tomorrow. I'm looking for another signal. I don't know where. I don't know which one's going to come, but something's coming. Something's coming. The dollar pulling back a little, not much. Here's the VIX. You can see that the VIX popped up again. Look at the VIX. This is not concerning when the VIX is like, oh, it spiked up to 16. 16? Nah, we're not concerned by that. We don't find that to be problematic. All right, let's keep going. Oh, look at that one. That was a new one of ours. We were watching. Anybody notice that today? VRTV or Vertiv Holdings, VRT. Just smashed higher today. I don't know what happened there. They got some good news. Victoria's Secret, a little overextended, but certainly has had an amazing comeback, this stock. Looking good going into the winter. Walmart, we had a great spread trade. Then we got out, waited for earnings. Earnings came. I still think there may be some consolidation. So let's wait and see what we get there. But I certainly feel like something brewing. XLB, new lows. XLC trying to stabilize. XLE holding up. Financials holding up. XLI. Industrials look very bullish right now. XLK looks very bullish right now. XLP looks flat. XLU is... Oh, there's a little there. Is anyone trading in utilities? There's a little something there. Let me know. I keep asking what everyone's trading in. I feel like it's light. Is that right? It's trading light. Scott Lee calling it a night. Good to see you, Lee. Not sure if I caught you in time. Chuck LTA went with CTAS. Okay. When looking at IP, it was down for so long, then had a major uptrend. Why would one expect this to continue upward? I just expect whatever's going to continue. Things in motion tend to stay in motion, right? So let's go back to IP. I mean, you could make that same, whatever was before it. So let's go look at IP. So you're saying if I go back even further still, it was sideways for a while. I mean, I think you'll find plenty of stocks that would look like this. Yeah? Yeah. There's plenty that would look like this. Yeah. And look, once the momentum starts, that's it. Remember who's creating the momentum. Typically, it's going to be institutions. Institutions take a long time to get into positions. And so, if they're just getting into a new... You can see this thing went sideways for a while, just starting up again. So, yeah, we would expect this to go higher for the same reason you would expect anything that just made a higher high and a higher low to go higher. Because it just had a higher high and a higher low. And that is indicative, from a technical standpoint, of momentum, strength. The buyers had to come in strong to push it to a higher high. And the sellers didn't have much, and that's why it only got to a higher low. So yeah, I'm not thinking about like, oh, is there something about international paper that I like less or anything? No, for me it's all about, does it have the pattern that I'm looking for? And the answer here is yes for me. Good question. Good question. What else? We've been through our watch list. I feel like it's just a little light, so let's have a psychological discussion. Is something holding you back from trading? And if so, what? Or are you already in world events? Okay. There was a lowering of the nuclear. What is that called? The standard threshold. There you go. I was thinking standard, the threshold. Thank you, Clint. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Certainly, that has some concerning undertones. I would agree with that. Yeah. Took XLU call yesterday. First trade using LCO for stop and limits. Okay. Love it. Clint, I agree, right? Hopefully he's not that dumb or committed to the cause, I guess, which equates to the same thing, essentially. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Could be that desperate. Yeah. Yeah, and it makes you wonder, coming into the new administration, like what's the tone going to be there? Does he come off as combative, or does he come off as talking about Putin? Yeah. Does he come off as like he's trying to wind things down? I didn't realize. You guys see that we're at day 1,000? I mean, what's the objective at this point? You're 1,000 days in. What are you hoping to accomplish now? Like, he's just hoping the world looks the other way and just sort of lets him keep some more Ukraine. I don't know. It seems to not be going the way they would want, and they got no way out. I saw that they had a lot of North Korean troops that they were spending a bunch of money on. I'm like, they're hiring the North Koreans as mercenaries? Is that what's going on? What's happening here? Okay, well then, yeah, that's fair. There's certainly some concern in that vein. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Okay, at the end of the day, though, we got to trade. I'm always going to trade. Right now, the institutions know more about everything else than I do. What are they doing? They're feeling pretty good. Here's the futures. Futures are ticking up a little bit here in the evening. But yeah, hey, I'm looking for another bullish bounce. I'm looking for a Santa rally. I don't know about what everyone else thinks with the Ukraine. All I know is it's fixing to be Santa rally time, and I'm here for it. Ho, 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 Clint. Amen. This little graduation trip I'm taking my family to for my son to graduate is not going to pay for itself. It's not. As much as I keep hoping it will. We're going to have to do it the hard way and trade for it. So let's knuckle down and let's make it happen, you guys. Okay. Well, look, no need to just keep prattling on. Let's pick up in the morning when the market opens. And let's... lost the freezer this morning. That's the worst. I had one I thought I lost, but it turned out I just shorted it last year. And it's still working, but it's making some funky sounds that I'm like, oh, it doesn't have long. It's funny that you say that because I had to pay someone to come out and fix my fence. It's now all of a sudden you blink and I'm like, holy shit, we've been in our house for 18 years and that fence has seen better days. And I'm just like, out of curiosity, what would a new fence cost? One of the guys coming out to bid on it for a new fence, and he's like, oh, you can do the Trex kind of stuff. $27,000. I'm like, for a fence? Like a fence? Come on, man. Oh, good. No food lost. Glad to hear that. Probably cold enough that it gave you a little time. Yeah, no, I'm like, let's just fix this fence and make it last for a few more years because that's like, I'd rather buy a car than replace my fence. Anyways. $27K. Isn't that insane? It's like back in the day when we first bought this house. Our kids were young. We're like, oh, we'll have a big yard and the kids can play and blah, blah. Oh, my God. I want a small yard. I don't want to have to put a fence on a big yard. That's terrible. Anyways. No. I don't know. Our yard's about a third an acre. It's not enormous, you know. It's good size, but it's more than I want to mow. That's for sure. All right. Listen, everyone. Let's pick it up tomorrow morning, 15 before the market opens. Let's see what's cracking. I think we'll have another couple of, at least another trade, maybe more. Santa rally. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your night. As always, happy trading.